We did various iterations with this, but then we asked them things like which one of these was most challenging, which one of these was most frustrating, which one of these was most interesting, and stuff like this. And then we also recorded how well did they play, how much did they die, how much did they run, how much did they jump, stuff like this. And then we could train a little neural network that basically took into, like basically took as inputs how someone played and what level they were playing, but like various ways of characterizing the level, and output how fun they would think it was, how frustrating, and so on. This actually worked really well, and we only needed a couple of hundred data points to train this network. This was 2009, like tiny network by today's standards. But this is something that I'm fairly confident about would replicate really well if you just had enough data. The reason we haven't redone experiments like this is that it's tougher and tougher to get people to actually play games for you and tell you about them. It might sound surprising, but back then, 15 years ago, you could just put this on your Facebook feed and, hey, play games for science. And there are people who are like, yes, we would love to do this. Now you have to pay them. You also need ethical approval and stuff like this. And I don't have money. I don't have ethics. But yeah.
I'm curious. So here you're asking them to self-assess how they were feeling.
No, you have to actually self-assess which one of them was most frustrating. So it's important that there's a preference choice. You don't just ask them, if you ever been admitted to an emergency room, you basically get this little stick where it basically says, on a scale from 1 to 10, how much pain are you in? The one time I was really in an emergency room, I did not know that you could be in this much pain. So I basically had to tell them 11. And these are called Likert scales. These are not a good way of measuring things. You need to ask them about preferences. So you basically, is this more fun? Is this more frustrating? And so on.
Can we make the case for that this is truly new for the game industry, truly new for games and entertainment? Or not? And if it is new, what is truly new here? What is the succinct thing that is like, in 2025, this was possible in a way that is totally different than what was possible 2015 or some time?
Yeah, I'm allergic to the kind of this changes everything thinking. Nothing changes everything. It's just a historical, and a lot of people who fall into the kind of breathless hypester camp should just shut up and read a history book and read the history of their own field and so on. But this being said, I do think there are some actually new possibilities, the things that we couldn't do before. So when you say that AI and procedural content generation has been with us in games for a long time, it's true that we've had, I usually start, when I teach this thing, I start with things like Rogue from 1980, Miss Pac-Man from 1982, Elite from 1984,